Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Asa Christensen, the Coffee Chronicler. Today I'm going to talk about a really cool new grinder called the Timemore Chestnut C2. Timemore is a relatively new Chinese coffee brand, and they've been getting a lot of attention recently because they are kind of, I would call them the coffee version of Xiaomi. So they make a lot of cool products, and they are very affordable. But even though they kind of like take some inspiration from American brands, they kind of like have their own design philosophy. So as you can see, this grinder here is pretty cool. It has a little bit of a unique design with this kind of like textured surface here, which should make it more easy to hold and turn the crank. I find in real life it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's nice to look at nonetheless. As I said, the Chestnut C2 is very affordable. At the moment, it's actually just a tiny bit more expensive than the typical entry-level manual grinders, such as the Paulex Mini, the Hero Skirton Pro, but it still has a lot more of that kind of like premium hand grinder feel to offer. So let's take a quick look at it. I'll do a bigger review on my website, but I just wanted to do a quick video, show you guys the good and bad things about this grinder. So we're gonna start with the positive things. Like it's very spins very well. Like the bearings inside are kind of smooth. So like in the hand, it's feels very nice. It kind of like looks reasonably premium. Like there are a few, like the knob here is made of like kind of like a cheap plastic, and the lid here the same. Internally there's some plastic as well. The axle stabilizer is made of plastic. It's not a big problem. It's just like a lot of the other brands use aluminum or metal for this. Going in on the adjustment, the adjustment is also kind of like a basic one. There's no numbers, which is a little bit annoying when you kind of like try to retrace a previous setting. And then they do have like a explanation, coarse, less coarse, that kind of thing. This here is also made of plastic, so it does feel a little bit cheaper than some of the competitors, but at this price point, it's kind of like to be expected. I think for me it just sounds kind of like cheap materials rubbing together. So, but let's try to grind some coffee, and then we'll see. So let's just add 20 grams. As you can see, the hopper is this quite comfortably fit 20 grams. You can probably even get 7 to 10 grams more in here, and then it's going to be completely full, but I would say the capacity is definitely easily 25 grams. Okay, so we got 20 grams. Let's start the timer. And we're done. So this is pretty insane. This is almost 1 gram a second, and you're definitely not going to find that in many hand grinders. So this tells me that the burrs on this grinder are like really sharp and aggressive. Let's take a look at the consistency here. It's like pretty coarse, but it's also relatively uniform. Of course, there are some fines, but it's definitely acceptable. Okay, to sum up this grinder quickly, I will say that for the money, it's very hard, if not impossible, to find anything that's better value than this. It's you can find it at a very good price. It's as we saw before, it's like incredibly fast, and it grinds reasonably consistent. I tried using it for espresso. I wouldn't recommend it for that. It's the burrs just aren't engineered for it. It can grind fine enough. It's going to take a long time. But for anything such as AeroPress, pour over, French press, it will do a really good job. It comes in under half a kilo, which again is quite decent. So, and you can see the form factor. It's kind of like pretty handy package. The only downside to this grinder is that it does have all these plastic parts here, and it's not the most consistent grinder as well. I'm not sure about this material here, how's it gonna age. It's kind of like this aluminum is not the most premium feeling, but yeah, I would say it's definitely something you can live with for the kind of like little package you get here. So I think once again Timemore has done quite a good job here. For this, if you want to see comparisons to other premium grinders as well as budget grinders, then be sure to check out my blog post. I'll talk more about how it compares to grinders like the Leader Free, Hero Skirton Pro, 1C Presso, JX, those kind of grinders. If you have any questions, be sure to hit down in the comment section. Okay, alright, bye bye.